of round number 3 of the Inside Line Racing League season here on the PS4. It's ILR1, I am Ginger Andy, and for the first time ever commentating on the ILR PS4 side of things, I'm joined by James Baker. James, we have you on Xbox, it's good to have you joining us on PS4 as well.
The start of the PS4 side for myself, it's hopefully going to be an absolute firecracker. I've seen some of the racing in the past in this particular league, and has to be said, it's been unbelievable. So I'm hoping for a similar fate here, and maybe it can match the likes of Xbox as well.
Yeah, it should be a cracker. I must apologise, folks. I have not been around for the opening 2 races of this season. I have, I'm jumping in just like James here to see, what to expect as the season unfolds. Certainly last season it was VSR Blizzard. That was the man to beat. He was dominant in Season 1. And from what I've seen so far this season, it's been a little bit hectic. That race in China was absolutely incredible. It should be a cracking season. At the top of the standings, we are joint at the top. It's ILRT Janel at the top with Blizzard, who won in the opening race before a DNF in the second race. Abidon, he is third with 22 points. Paris is fourth with 18. Then it's Lickel with 15 points. Cliffy with 12, along with Alfie. Leon on 10, Lambo on 10, and Zenke on 8. So it's quite close, very tight in the standings. So let's see how it pans out as the season goes on. Can Blizzard again show how strong he can be and go on and win another championship? That will certainly be the man to watch, won't it, James? Because we know how strong Blizzard is.
Absolutely, yeah. Recognise the name straight off the bat. Yeah, very strong driver, Blizzard. Really interested to see how he can get on the span of the course of the rest of the season, as much as he's got on the first couple of races this season. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on with the remaining races, as it were. Everyone just doing their banker laps at the moment on the hard and the soft tyre, I believe, is the other option these guys have to play with at the moment.
Yeah, medium, super soft and soft. On Xbox, when we cover Xbox quite often, and a few times I've covered it, I've seen that people would like to start this race on the soft compound tyre, but will we see that today on the PS4? I'm not too sure. I've forgotten since the patch what the best way to go is, but on the PS4 it seems like the tyres can be a little bit more durable than they are on the Xbox, so we might see some people start on the super soft, but going by the air, most drivers out there on the medium compound, so it certainly looks like they're going to be warming themselves up for a late stab on the soft, doesn't it, James?
Yep, it's exactly the same as the other console, as it were. The soft tyres is definitely the best way to do it, although the graining, even on the softs, I've noticed on the Xbox side, does get quite high. If the graining isn't as much on PS4, these guys will be absolutely fine to do the one-stop between the softs and the mediums, but there was a fair bit of graining, it looked like, on the other platforms. So I'd be surprised if everyone decides to go for the... as I've said in the past, it's... you're caution to the wind and going on to the super soft tyres, so, you may see that, so don't be surprised to see a surprise pole position.
Absolutely, it's all about that one lap at the end, nailing it, getting yourself up and amongst the action at the front. That one crucial lap at the end of the session on that soft compound tyre as Liam comes into the pits. He's on top at the moment for Red Bull, and then it's me in second on the medium tyre, but of course these medium tyres, we expect a lot more from them. Now Speed Barry, he's out there on the track at the moment. I'm going to pick him up. We know this man can be very, very, very fast, and he was tipped at the start of the season by many to be able to challenge Blizzard, but it's not been the perfect start to his season at all. It did not finish in Australia, and a 7th place in China. So Barry certainly will be looking to improve his game and going into this race. Don't want to fall behind, James, early on in a championship, especially when it only has 11 rounds in it. Yeah,
it is a common prerogative, really. These guys need to just be consistent, keep the momentum going. As I've said again, it's just a case of, in these sort of seasons, it isn't picking up the wins, it's picking up the points and picking up the podiums as well. If you're going to go for a championship, you don't necessarily need to win any race, because if the rivals around you aren't scoring good enough points, you could technically finish second most Grand Prix. It's just how you average over the course of the season. It's how consistent you are and the momentum that builds as well. And that's key for Barry, I'm sure, for the first 2 rounds or anything to go by. So in his last Grand Prix, so he'll be hoping for a little bit better this time around. Crown, Ferrari, just a tenth or so behind the lift.
Yep, so Barry going second quickest as things stand. And a few cars in the pits on the soft compound tyre. They haven't actually gone out there though to post a lap time as of yet. So we'll keep an eye out and see when Liam, It's Me, Rafa and Wayne decide to come out onto the track on the soft compound. They look like they're going to be amongst the first drivers to do it. Remember, you only get one set of the soft compound tyre. So it's all about that one crucial run near the end of the session. So it's still Liam on top from Speed Barry second and It's Me in third. Now It's Me, he's a driver that slowly but surely made his way up from ILR2 in the PS4 side and moved into ILR1, and as time's gone by he's really ramped up his pace and improved and he cannot be too far away from a first ever ILR1 victory. He certainly has some great speed, It's Me, and he'll be looking to be even more consistent this season, just like he was last season, picking up strong results all the time. But we can't wait to see what he can do. Blizzard has gone out there on an outlap, albeit on the mediums, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do on the medium tyre as Barry again does another quick time, a 26.7 on the medium. So he's dialing himself in, and I said it before, James, we've had this conversation many times before. It's always good to use the medium tyre, the less grippier tyre, to gear yourself up for the softs, isn't it?
Absolutely, just get that, just get those laps in. We said last on the other platform a couple of weeks ago, I think now it was China, where we said basically you just want on these medium compound tyres, all you're there to do, just set the laps in, just rubber the track in, as it were. Just the temperature of the circuit's always going to go up, but with that, that the circuit's going to get a lot faster as well. And just getting on those medium tyres, just doing a few laps, just getting your eye in to see how late you can brake for a corner is just key for when you decide to go on the fast side. I personally go with the super soft, as I've said in the past, but yeah, that's the way to do it. Go on the mediums, put as can or as much as you want to, and let's just see how many laps we can get around there as well. So that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely. Well, Blizzard out there at the moment on those mediums. Interestingly, Alfie with 7 minutes to go. Sterling West as well. They have opted to go on an outlap on the super soft. So what could this be all about? Do they genuinely believe they can qualify on these tyres, or will they just peel back into the pits? Maybe they've done a run on the mediums and now they want to try out the super soft for a run. We'll have to keep an eye on them. So Alfie's out there on an outlap on them. Sterling West as well. But the first man that to venture out onto the track on a set of softs is CPI Lewis. So let's keep an eye on Lewis. He's coming around the final corner now, and it looks like he's going to put the first realistic benchmark on the board with the soft compound tyre. So here he comes across the line, starting a lap here in Bahrain, down towards turn 1. And this, James, you have to say, is probably the best overtaking opportunity. There is plenty of them, isn't there, on this racetrack? Turn 1, turn 4, to name a couple.
Yeah, turn 1, turn 4, out of 1, and then slingshot. You see differing lines. So the inside line means you're going to be taking an approach for your try to keep the inside for turn 4. It actually takes a lot of curb on the exit there, does Lewis, and flying his way through the kinks now and down towards, again, a place where you can make an overtake this hairpin, but I wouldn't recommend it. It gets very tight on apex through there. A very wide apex on exit as well. Say through towards, try not to lock the left front. Everyone does. It's such a difficult corner to get right. Almost have to right as you open the DRS up towards the run up of turn 11.
Yeah, well, here comes Lewis. What's he going to do on this run? Sorry if you've got a bit of lag in your screen and a little bit of lag in the mic, so I don't think my connection's up to it today, but Lewis then sweeping now up the hill through that long right-hander towards the end of the second sector, and we're going to get our first representative time on the board from the soft compound tyre as he comes charging down the back straight towards the final 2 corners officially on the track. But let's be honest, it's really 1. Here goes Lewis through that right-hander. There's supposed to be 2 there. You tell me what the 2 corners are as Lewis comes across the line. What's it going to be? He only goes 14 fastest with a 27.8, so not a quick time at all there from Lewis, and he'll have to go again, won't he?
You will have to go again, and if he's not got enough fuel in the car, then he's going to have to come into the pits, do an extra outlap, then do another out. I mean, it'd be pretty unwise to just take a look further up the order. You've got Liam in 4th, Lambo in fifth, although they're probably not representative time. Just saying they are absolutely identical, a 27.293. Please let that be the case come the end of the session, I beg of you.
Yeah, that would be nice to see. And Alfie, by the way, just in case you were wondering, folks, he is coming down the pit lane now, so no lap from him on the super soft. Sterling West doing the same into the pits. We're still waiting on Lewis to put a big time on the board. He, of course, a former champion. He has got great speed as well. Cliffy in the pits. He's just come out, actually, and he's starting a lap on the softs. Has he abandoned it? Nope, the game's just lagging like crazy. So Cliffy charging up the hill towards turn 4. What's he going to do on this run? I'm going to see if I can find anyone else out on the racetrack on a quick further round the lap. Lewis is out there. We've got Rafa out there starting one. It's me starting one. And that is it. So we'll stick with Lewis, then we'll go to Cliffy. As there really is a lot of lag here. I've got to apologise, folks. But Lewis...
I just watched Cliffy coming into the hairpin there at the bottom of the circuit. Went very, very deep into there. I think he may have backed out of this lap as well. So he's going to have to take another run on those soft tyres. Okay, so Lewis looks like he's backing out and potentially coming into the pits. So yes, he is doing so. Cliffy, as you mentioned, might have to bail out of this one and go again. So I think that means we can go and watch It's Me, and Rafa, who was further around the track. It's Me and his Toro Rosso locking up big time, going down into the hairpin, but gets it all stopped, not too much time lost, and he's on his way down that straight, which runs parallel to the pit straight. And It's Me, 7th quickest so far. He and Rafa the first ones to put a proper time on the board in the softs, given that Cliffy made that error on his lap. And also given that Lewis has failed to set the timing boards alight. So here comes It's Me through that difficult turn 13. It really is a tricky one, James, and it's so easy to lock up and run a little bit wide on the runoff. Now down to the final couple of corners of turn 14 and 15. What can It's Me do as he comes round the final corner, heading up towards the line? A 27.3 is his current time. The first representative time of the day is a 26.6, and he goes a tenth quicker than Speed Barry, who set that lap on the mediums, and Rafa now pips him with a 26.4. So they are the first competitive times on the board so far, James. Absolutely, they are competitive times as well, although having said that, on the other console they were 25.8 the pole time, I believe, on that particular console, so there may still be time to find. It may be a difference in pace, we'll soon see. That's going to be an interesting one tonight. I think Cliffy, yeah, he's come back into the pits and completely aborted his run there. And Abudin in the Alfa Romeo has just begun his lap on the soft tyres. Yep, Abudin starting one on those tyres. VJ Hamilton is also out there. We'll keep an eye on him first of all, because he is sweeping his way towards the end of the lap, or through the middle part of the lap. The Haas driver, has he backed out of this one? It's so hard to tell because my game is lagging quite a bit. Apologies if you're watching in the stream and it's lagging. But here comes Hamilton towards the end of his lap in the Haas, looking for a strong result as he reaches down for the brake pedal, down into third gear for that final corner, then towards the DRS zone, down that start-finish straight, opens it up, and across the line he will go. What is it? It's a 27.1. It's not the most competitive time from him. So let's go to ILRT Aberdeen, see what he can do. This is Wayne now, goes quickest of all, 26.3, but we'll keep an eye on Abby in the Haas, in the Sauber, because at the moment he's third in the standings, in 8th place and a second. It's Me now, 26.2, a second run on those tyres from It's Me. What is Aberdeen going to do as he sweeps through turn 13 in 4th gear, using all the curb and more as he goes round that corner and heads towards the end of the lap? Aberdeen on a push lap here as he tries to build on that second place he picked up last time out in China. Up towards the line comes the Sauber driver. DRS open. Where's he going to go? He goes up into 7th position. So 7 for him. We await Blizzard, who's starting his lap now. Barry is in the middle sector. Jano, the championship leader, he is currently in 4th position. He started another lap. Wayne is out there. It's Me going again. Cliffy crossing the line to start a lap 2. What are you seeing out there, James? In the Mercedes, he'll be another man to watch on his particular run, but some people opting to do that second run and bettering their times as well. Oh goodness me, Sterling West has had an accident warming up on his lap. I don't know what happened, but the right front is folded up over the car as the checkered flag comes out. We need to go and pick up some drivers on quick laps. Here comes Hamilton again, 14th at the moment. He goes up to 9th.
Who else can we pick up? Blizzard out there, but we'll go to Barry, who's coming up towards the final corner. Can he finally get his season back on track? It's a 26-2. That is the target as Speed Barry rounds the final corner, comes towards the line. Is he going to be the first man in the 25s? No, but he's fastest of all. A 1:26.0 from Barry. Is this the moment he finally delivers here in ILR1? Blizzard has a target to match. He's 7th at the moment. 8th now, as another time from Paul now goes 7th. Blizzard round the final corner in the Mercedes. The 26.0 is the target. What's Blizzard going to do? He stays down in 9th on that 26.8. Ariaden's backed out. Francis McGinn pops up into 2nd place. What else have we got? Zenke is out there. Alfie crossing the line. He's 15th. Where is Cliffy? Here is Cliffy coming round the final corner and heading towards the line. At the moment, it's looking good for Barry. Cliffy pits. And could that be that? Zenke now. Liam is out there too, I believe.
Yeah, he's just up to the line. He can't improve on his time, but 6th place, and he did try on those tyres. Couldn't improve though.
And here comes Zenke. What's he going to do? 14th. He stays, and that rounds off the qualifying session. Nobody able to break into the 1 minute 25s, but it was CPI Speed Barry who lived up to his name. Plenty of speed in that car, and he takes pole position and can now try and build what could be a good season ahead after a slow start here in ILR1. So he's on top, and a great effort from him to take pole position, James.
Absolutely, and he was one of the biggest gaps difference there, to be fair, other than the guys who obviously didn't set their times. But so many cars there from about 2nd down to 4th, I think, or 5th, within 1:26.2. So at the grid then, so Barry is on pole ahead of Francis. It's me starts from 3rd, Rafa from 4th, Wayne starts in 5th ahead of Liam in 6th place. Lambo starts from 7th. It's an all-force India or Racing Point affair on row 4, with Poe on row starts from 9th ahead of Blizzard, who rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, well, it's quite tight in the top 6, only 2.5 tenths covering those guys. Then a little 3/10 gap back to Lambo in 7th, but you know, the big shot there, Blizzard 10th place. It actually shows his time is on the medium tyre. Pardon me, and given that he's in the top 10, he will have to start the race on those. So an interesting strategy deployed there by VSR Blizzard. What do you make of that one, James? That's an interesting one, isn't it, to say the very least?
Well, starting on the mediums may not be a bad call. I mean, obviously later on into the stint, because we expect the pit stops at around from around lap 10 to lap 12, I'd assume, lap 10 to 13. So being on those medium tyres, we've got that a little bit longer. And actually, if he's able to manage it enough, I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to go on to super softs because that's a bit absurd, but you know, he could have a real good shot on those soft tyres towards the end, and well, may find himself with some added pace and really could worry the front.
Well, I've just been told there by Tom in the chat, thanks for telling us, Blizzard actually did a pole lap, a 25.9, which was invalidated. So, you know, that tells you that he was not intending to start on those medium tyres. So that's good info to know. Thanks for the eagle-eyed viewers for picking that one up. So Blizzard perhaps on the back foot, maybe not what he wanted, but yeah, long game on the mediums, it's still doable. But here come the lights. We're going to start this formation lap, and we can have a proper run through the tyres that everyone has got on. As I get the tyres up, there we go, and there is the confirmation of Blizzard on the medium tyre in 10th position. Everyone in the top 9 on the softs. Then you've got Leon on the softs, the first man with a fresh set. Abby on the softs too. Then a couple of guys on the mediums. You've got Hamilton and Zenke, and then you've got Alfie, Lewis on the softs, and the bottom 4, Sterling West, Lewis, Cliffy and Lickle, all opting for the medium tyre. So, you know, it's not far from over for Blizzard having to start on the mediums, because there's other drivers who are the free tyre choice that agree with that and have also gone for the medium tyre. But the only disadvantage Blizzard has is he's probably put a few laps on those mediums, isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Putting laps on, it's not going to make a massive difference, because obviously a couple of drivers in the top 10 on the softs have decided to go and do a couple of runs on the softs. So it's not going to pay massive dividends. It may do for the soft runners, not so much the medium runner in Blizzard. But actually, compared to the other night, there was only 2 drivers in 17 on Xbox site who started on the medium compound tyre. Everybody else was on softs. Here we've got much more of a vast affair with the medium compound tyre.
Absolutely. Well, can Speed Barry get his first win in the board in ILR? It's not been the perfect start to his season. As you're aware, the Ferrari driver didn't finish the race in Australia and only a 7th place last time out in what was a crazy race in China. Both of those races were rain affected. I think you can bet your bottom dollar but there won't be any rain in this one. That's for sure. And if there was any rain, I would be in shock. I think the most likely thing is a sandstorm, and I don't think that's included in the game. Codemasters, if you're watching or listening in, F1 2019, you know, go for it. Why not? Stick a sandstorm into the game, see how that pans out. But here they are, lining up on the grid. It's Speed Barry, who's going to be on pole position with Francis McGinn alongside. Then it's me, Rafa, Wayne and Liam rounding out the top 6, and they are only separated by 2.5 tenths. We'll have to watch Blizzard from 10th. What can he do? It's sure set up to be a cracking race here under the lights in Bahrain. A Ferrari on pole, Francis in the Mercedes alongside in second. It's going to be a long run down to turn 1, and on the inside, you know, it can be a benefit to you, James, can't it, being on the inside? But here we go, the 5 red lights are about to come on as I struggle for a good camera angle. Come on, give me a good camera angle, game. There we go. 5 red lights coming on. It's Barry on pole. Can he get his first win in ILR? We'll find out as the 5 red lights go out and we are racing as they move away from the grid. It's a fantastic getaway from Francis. He's streaking clear and into the lead as they reach for turn 1. Great on the brakes. Barry tries to hold it out round the outside. He's forced out wide and Francis takes the advantage. It's me is also creeped through up into second place. Barry's off. He's going down like a stone. Evasive action from many in the midfield, and the number 47 car drops down the order. We've got all sorts of drama in the midfield, but it's Francis who takes the lead from It's Me and Wayne. What happened to Barry, James?
Absolutely, just got shoved out of road really by what looked like the race leader. Couldn't do much about it. Then there's a full-seated diving down the inside Lambo on Rafa. Just about can't get it done into the braking zone. Great stuff though from Francis to get off the line, had them force him the issue, and that actually forced really out of and actually ran so wide, got into the gravel, and then was in all sorts of bother coming back onto the circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. Some real mayhem going on in the middle part of the track. You've got Liam there battling side by side with Jano, the championship leader, and he is through the Finnish driver up into 7th. Liam down to 8th as Blizzard tries to make some headway. He's right in there, the world champion who won more than half the races last season in ILR, trying to continue that dominance. So far this season, he's not had it all his own way. A DNF and a victory. At Blizzard, keen to make up for lost time after that error in qualifying on his one and only run. Again, I'm getting a few lag spikes, folks. Apologies for that. But here we are, riding on board with Blizzard, coming across the line. Francis McGinn leads them from It's Me, then Wayne, then Rafa. But this is Blizzard on the attack of Liam. Is he going to pull out from behind the back of the Red Bull and go diving up the inside and make up places here? Yes, he is. On the inside he goes. Is he through? It looks like he is. Behind that, you've got all sorts of drama. Alfie, Zenki, and then further action behind that as well with Abiadon and Lewis. As again, I get another massive lag spike. I do apologise for those, as it really is becoming a real scrap in the midfield, isn't it, James?
Yeah, it's so nip and tuck in the midfield at the moment. You can't really differentiate between any of these guys, and none of them are in the points. So they're all a little bit far out the points. Well, it's about 2 tenths of a second outside the points to Zenki at the moment, to Alfie, who's in 10th at the moment. It's all going to start kicking off. I'm sure there's that is an Alfa Romeo. The inside through in Mayo and gets through into 11th place. It's 10th and 11th for Alfa at the moment, but more moves going on behind. Lewis trying to find a way around the outside into turn 10. Can't quite get the move done to break it.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. That's what a start to the race as Zenki is now 12th as Speed Barry tries to recover after that opening lap disaster. He's now up to 13th ahead of Lewis, who's down to 14th. So it's all happening there. Let's move up to the front, or closer to the front, where Leon in 6th place is within 3 tenths just about of Lambo in front. So could there be a potential move there? Could there be a move at the front? There's only 4 tenths between the top two as well. They're all really tightly packed as we go to the leaders. It's McGinn in the lead from It's Me in second, the Scotsman leading the way, but It's Me has just set the fastest lap and he's in the slipstream. Is the Toro Rosso driver, is he going to go for a look up the inside in a turn 1? Not on this occasion. Is that lag or is that a genuine bump? It's lag. Apologies, folks. Looked like it's Wayne had just wiped them out there, but no, it was lag. As they go streaming up the hill again. There's so much action in the midfield, I don't know where to look. I don't want to miss anything going on at the front. So tight, and It's Me is desperate to get his way ahead of Francis, and he really is a man on a mission as Cliffy retires from the race. Is there going to be any way for It's Me to get through? Not on this occasion, but at the moment, James, it looks like he has got the speed advantage over Francis.
They're all bouncing off the limiter in 7th gear. No one wants to touch our 8th gear because it downshifts the momentum in many ways. And oh goodness me, into turn 10, Francis locked his wheels, as did It's Me, and he got so close to the back end of that Mercedes with DRS wide open towards turn 11. He won't get it done into there, just he has to get the momentum, then through this final sector and size him up towards turn 1 on the next lap.
Well, he's right there, isn't he? It's me. He's tucked right up behind him, desperate to get this move done. He knows there's quicker drivers behind that are capable of doing things like Barry, who's had that poor start. Blizzard, we know how to poor qualifying. So he needs to get this move done and get off into the distance and try and get a win under his belt here in ILR1. It's me on the charge. Francis holding firm as they come down towards the final corner on lap 3 out of 29. It's been a frantic start to the race. I just do not know where to look as the leaders all sweep across the start finish line. Is It's Me this time fancying a move? Francis knows he's in trouble because he's defended to the middle of the track. He's going to force It's Me down the outside with the overspeed. Can he sweep right round the outside of the Mercedes? It looks like he can. Inside now, and is he through? For goodness sake, this is horrendous lag, and It's Me is through up into the lead ahead of Francis, who drops down to second. In the background, the other Mercedes is having a battle, but we'll stick with this. Francis ain't giving this up, you know. He's still there, keeping his foot in, but It's Me should have it done now. He is ahead and clear of Francis, who might try and fight back this time into turn 8. No, he won't. And at the same time, I believe Blizzard got through as well, did he?
Forced India through at the racing point through, I should say. Now, on those mediums, he's making great progress at the early stages of this Grand Prix. Did not expect him to have this sort of pace early doors, but him being a world champion, I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's putting it to good use as well. 7th at the moment for Blizzard, ahead of Jano in 8th place at the moment. But let's watch the two leaders, 3/10 of a second between them. Really, if you're anywhere outside, I'd say about 7 or 8 tenths with DRS around main straight, you haven't got a chance. You will have to defend if you're the leader, but he needs to sort of pull that buffer out now, does It's Me, against his nearest rival in Francis. With DRS, this should be easy pickings perhaps into turn 1.
Yep, here we go. This is another opportunity. Look at this. Oh, big moment for
Francis!
He's in the wall, and he's going to be well out of the race, or well out of the running. Don't reverse there, Francis, my friend. And he is in big trouble. Race pretty much over for him. Front wing gone, big snap of oversteer. I thought he was going to be able to save it, but he couldn't. And round he went into the wall and actually nearly collected his teammate there. And that's robbed us of a battle for the victory and robbed Francis of a chance. And he's now got a stop go by coming into the pit lane far too quickly. So a disaster there for Francis as Blizzard now sits about Lambo and Leon. They're in a battle in front. Side by side they go. Leon just unable to get himself ahead of Lambo on that occasion there.
Absolutely, it got very tight between those two in through turn 4, but goodness me, that incident there for Francis, very unusual. You don't often see that sort of thing actually happening, and perhaps your sandstorm predictions are indeed correct, Andy. Maybe got forced out by the storm itself. That may have been the cause issue, but just keeping too much on the curb on entry, that can really unsettle the car. It's such a big bump on entry of the final corner that you cannot afford to really hit it with some venom, and he certainly did. And that's probably what sent him round there. We watched Blizzard behind though. It really is keeping tabs with these leaders, even on those medium tyres. He's going to be a massive threat towards the end of this Grand Prix. I've
got a couple of downloads doing. I thought I cancelled them. I haven't. I'm going to have to at some point, you know, come away from the screen and cancel those uploads just to or downloads on the PlayStation just to smooth this out a little bit. But I don't want to do it in the middle of the action where it's all kicking off. It's still It's Me from Wade, then Rafa, then Lambo and Leon going side by side. Look at this, Blizzard in the background. We're going to be 3 wide into turn 1, aren't we? Blizzard down the inside, just like Hamilton did, and against 2 of the cars that Hamilton did it against last year. Oh, that was so similar. And through he goes, the world champion, up into 4th place. How reminiscent was that of last year with Hamilton? That was incredible, James.
The inside of Leon, can't quite get the move done. That was a stunning overtake from Blizzard. So brave on the brakes to go 3 wide on such a tight apex as well of turn 1. Gets it all stopped in time. Mercedes up to 4th, and wow, what a Grand Prix he's having at the moment. But it's a slight train starting to form here from Blizzard really, down to Leon, Lambo. They're all in there, ready to get a scrap. One of the Force Indians locking his wheels. His teammate will be through now, surely side by side on the exit. Gets a massive bite of oversteer, and I don't think he's going to get it done towards turn 11.
Oh, that was absolutely close, and I think nearly a bump there for Lambo. I think he actually clipped the back of Leon there, luckily not damaging any of his car as I continue to get lag spikes. I'm going to take this opportunity, well, not yet, because it's a 2/10 gap up front. Nope, back to 6/10, to try and cancel these downloads. So if you see anything on the track, let me know. Give me in the stream.
Through this time on his teammate Lambo, and a little bit just forcing the issue into turn 1, but gets it done, gets it all stopped in time. Is ahead of his teammate Lambo for now. Liam is now trying to join the fray and up the inside into turn 4. Massive defensive move there, and just about how the hell they didn't come into blows there, I'll never know. But the red board damn well nearly went straight to the back of the Force India, who's trying to get a move done on his teammate again.
Yeah, well, we're back with the action. Apologies for that one, folks. I just was getting fed up by looking at cars bouncing all over my screen, as I'm sure you were too, but we're sorted. And yeah, great action there between the Force Indias and Liam as well. They're all getting feisty. But I've got to say, that move from Blizzard a few moments ago, that was exactly like Hamilton's move, and it was just a shame there wasn't a McLaren he was overtaking as well. Otherwise it would have been an exact replica. But lap 7 out of 29, still it's me from Wayne, and then Rafa in third as the action in the midfield continues to hot up. And Liam, at the moment, the man on the move, just behind Lambo, who's going backwards at the moment. Lambo, he just can't seem to get things working the way he would like. And, you know, you've got to mention Blizzard too. He's not too far off the lead of this race. And he's on the medium tyre. So you've got to say he's one of the favourites to win this year, if not the favourite.
Well, in these sort of scenarios, he's got to be right up there with challenging for the Grand Prix win here to this afternoon, this evening. He's definitely got a massive chance. Just keeps those mediums in the window. Doesn't even need to attack the top 3. If he can just stay within tabs of them, he's going to have an almighty chance come the end of this Grand Prix. He'll probably pit around, well, you'd say around lap 17, 18, 19, coming in towards that sort of bracket. He's got plenty of time to think about making a pit stop, though. And the two leaders getting close once again, Wayne, and it's me through turn 4.
Yep, let's go up and keep an eye on those. I was sticking with the battle in the midfield there, but in fact, no, I'm not going to go up to it just yet, because Liam is very close to the back of Lambo. Is he going to have a lunge up the inside? Not on this occasion, and he stays where he is in P8. So let's go back to the leaders. And Wayne, despite being 7/10 off the back of It's Me, he's now got Rafa right behind him, and the only thing saving him from an overtake is that he has the DRS to the car in front, because Rafa really does look like he's got some serious pace sitting in behind in that Williams. But the problem they have is they're just allowing Blizzard on his mediums to reel them in bit by bit. But surely these soft tyres are past their best, and we will be seeing pit stops in the next couple of laps. Still, It's Me in the lead. Who will blink first from the top 3 or 4? You would think It's Me who would want to be the first man in to hold his lead.
Blizzard's now got DRS on the back of Rafa as well. He's actually got within a good enough margin to gain the DRS. Rafa running a bit deep in towards the final corner, but nothing really coming of it there. He's now going to have a chance to put DRS wide open, but same effect for Wayne ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. They're all closing up as they come across the line. Nobody in the pits this lap. Blizzard really is absolutely flying. There's no doubt about it. He is the man to watch in this pack of cars. The front 4 have broken clear of Leon in 5th in that Renault. So, you know, it's a race between the front 4, and now Wayne fancies his chances on the back of It's Me. He's very close, but not going to be close enough to make a move as the front 4 break clear. Liam is only 800s behind Lambo. Let's keep an eye on that. He's having a look up the inside through turn 4. Big oversteer moment for Liam as they sweep down the hill. Is he going to get himself ahead of Lambo? Not through there, he's not. And Lambo clings on, but Liam certainly threatening a move on that Force India, who really is struggling this afternoon, Lambo. And the two Alfa Romeo Saubers are not too far away either, are they?
Absolutely, but look at Blizzard, look at the drive he's got out of turn 10. He's got such a great run out of turn 10. He's now at the inside of Rafa into turn 11. Looks like the Mercedes will get ahead of the Williams here. Just about, no, not quite. They're banging wheels on the exit now. And can Blizzard find a way through? Around the outside he goes. This is a great opportunity. And what a move that is from the Mercedes. Moves himself into 3rd place and, more crucially, on the medium compound tyre.
Yeah, I think those tyres are now working in their ideal window. The softs are not, and Blizzard uses the extra grip he has and the confidence and his talent, of course, as the champion, to find his way through up into third place. Any sign of a pit stop here? No. It's Me carries on. Wayne carries on. Blizzard will carry on as well as they'll stream across the line. Blizzard, of course, he's going really deep into this race. So easy stuff, easy pickings for Blizzard. It was a good fight, to be fair, from Rafa. And he just couldn't do any more, and Blizzard soared through. In the background, by the way, Liam looks to have finally got himself ahead of Lambo, who's dropped like a stone and lost 3 places, I should say, in one corner. Through has gone Liam, through has gone the 2 Saubers, and now the 2 Saubers getting very close. Alfie having a look up the inside of Abbey, unable to find a way through, and Barry's in there as well looking to get involved. So the 2 Saubers dueling like crazy as they sweep their way down the hill, but Abbey's going to hold on for now as Blizzard moves into position behind Wayne. And that is going to be another move being made pretty soon, isn't it, from Blizzard? And look at that, lighting up the rear tyres. And here comes the Mercedes onto the back of the Ferrari. And surely he's going to go down the inside of Wayne, is he? Not on this occasion. He doesn't need to rush it though, James, doesn't he? He can take his time, bide his time, wait for the moment. He's got 19 laps ahead on better tyres when it comes to it. So why rush the move, especially when these guys will be thinking about a pit stop as Wayne goes really deep and Blizzard just walks through the door, easy as you like, and up into second place he goes. Are we going to see pit stops on this occasion?
I just hope for Blizzard's sake that he's not taking too much out of these tyres too early on here, because he is pushing, he must have to push like hell. So even keeping these guys on the softs at this stage of the race, but we're all seeing what he can do then as they head down towards turn 1. It's Me is trying to defend against him, and here comes Blizzard again up the inside. There's a McLaren on the inside there as well, but the Mercedes gets it stopped in time and takes the lead.
Lovely stuff from Blizzard. Pulled out really late, caught It's Me unawares, and through he went. And Blizzard, in typical Blizzard fashion, streaks past up into the lead of the race. He's got the pace, and even when his rivals who have got great pace are in this league as well, like Barry, he isn't making mistakes, Blizzard. Barry is, and Blizzard is through into the lead from 10th on the grid, and it's only taking them 11 laps, and that is on a set of medium tyres. So he is now up into the lead, and I have to say, James, I think he's going to disappear from there.
He could well do now. I mean, those mediums are going to be in such good condition compared to those softs now. He's got to just pull away. He's got to push like crazy, because something we haven't even spoke about yet is just how prominent the DRS is around here, how much it can pull you along around this circuit. And him getting without the DRS now, if he can pull away and not get any DRS from the car behind, or the car behind getting DRS from him, is what I'm trying to get at here, is, well, I mean, he could just walk away with this. This is quite brilliant driving.
Goodness me, sorry about that. Jano had a big moment there in the Racing Point Force India car. Nearly spat it into the barrier going through the long right-hander of turn 13, but just about gathered it up together again and carries on in 5th place. But that could have been a big moment as we are seeing the first pit stop. It's Me, Wayne in, and in has came Leon, in has came Jano as well. So perhaps that big moment there for Jano, showing that the softs are past their sell-by date. They're starting to overheat. It's time to come in and fit a set of mediums, and they should go to the end of the race from here, shouldn't they?
Absolutely. Let's see where Rafa comes out in relation to all these guys as well, because he was mighty close to them earlier on in the Grand Prix, and they're all pitting now. They're all coming down pit lane, and Rafa's coming past the pit lane now, and I think actually he's got ahead of the Ferrari of this is Wayne. That's a pretty big moment in terms of this Grand Prix. The undercut has worked on one occasion, and this time it's for Rafa.
Yep, through he goes. Rafa up at the 7th, coming in that little bit earlier in the cleaner there, and he is through. It's now only 6/10 behind It's Me, who's struggling to get the tyres up to temperature. So Rafa here, potentially, as It's Me really is struggling. Oh, he's a little bit wide, and if Rafa was in line, he could have slingshotted up the inside into turn 8, but as it is, he's not, and It's Me struggling to get them into the zone, and Rafa can smell blood. He senses an opportunity as they go through turns 9 and 10 and into the braking zone. Is he going to try and get his way through? No, he can't, and It's Me clings on, and as he now got the tyres into the window. The problem is though, Rafa's got DRS. He ain't going to let It's Me settled into this race, this second pit stop phase, as he would like, and Rafa dances through up the inside. It's Me down a place, and that would be a net second place after Blizzard's pit stop now for Rafa. Things going well for him.
Absolutely, going terrifically well for him at this stage of the race. It's very bizarre that he managed to just get that drive. It's not bizarre in the sense of how cold the tyres are, though, for It's Me. Obviously, just needs to get them up to temperature on this particular lap. Those mediums do take a little bit of time to get up to speed, and I'm sure he'll be right on the case of Rafa once again as they head down towards turn 1.
Absolutely. As we go further back to some more action, we've got Liam in a battle with Jeannot. He's been fighting these Force Indias all afternoon. As one of the cars coming out of the pits there is Abiadon. This is going to be very close in this battle with Leon Jeannot, and he slots right into the middle. He's going to have little grip, and the tyres are almost 3 wide going through turn 2, and that won't work. Off the road goes Liam as he rejoins. Is he off? Yes, he's off. He's in the wall, and round and off goes the front wing as we go back to the battle with Barry diving up the inside now of Lambo. Oh, aggressive stuff, barging himself alongside and through he goes, but 3 wide through turn 2 and 3, James. It never works, and as Liam rejoined, he got spat back out.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't ever going to work out for him. He did try to hold his foot in there on the inside, but I'm afraid it doesn't always work around this circuit, and that's one particular time where it hasn't exactly paid off. But Barry getting past Lambo. Lambo's really struggling. Those 2 Alphas are going to go side by side on the exit of turn 10 as well, up towards turn 11. Alfie versus Abiadon, who will get the best of the late breakers. Then Alfie up the inside gets things done, and he is ahead of his teammate.
Alfie ahead of Abby. They two have been stuck together like glue all afternoon, the 2 Saubers, or evening I should say, in Bahrain. And they're now going to be under threat from Barry, the pole sitter, whose race was pretty much ruined on the opening lap after a big spin, or a big slide off the racetrack, as Liam picks up a 3-second time penalty as Alfie and Abby continue their race-long duel, as Barry in the background lighting up the rear tyres moves himself into a position to attack. Lewis, by the way, and Hamilton, they're also on the same strategy as Blizzard. They're now 2nd and 3rd as Abiadon gets himself back ahead of Abby. And look at this, look at that from Barry. That was so late. And then nearly wiping out one, if not both, the Saubers. In the end, the great evasive action from Abby, who's seen him coming at the last minute to turn away. Now here comes Barry. He's fed up in this battle. He wants to have a look up the inside. Is he going to get through? No, he's not. And now round the outside goes Alfie with the extra grip and traction. That's a lovely opportunistic move from him, and he retakes the place. And Barry will be getting frustrated as Lambo touches him and damages his front wing. But Barry really does like being the latest of the breakers, doesn't he? And he tries again on Alfie.
He is so brave on his left foot. I've never seen anything like it. He doesn't care about when he stops the car. It's just if he stops the car, I suppose. You get a £5 note between all these guys as well at the moment. It's terrific racing. Off the process of just 2 points really in this Grand Prix, but they're 2 points added to your total at the end of the season, so I'm sure they'll all be scrapping away as hard as they possibly can. Barry the pole sitter though, well, what can you say? What a terrific bit of driving at some stages of this race. He's been unlucky, but now trying to force the issue on the 2 Alphas.
Yeah, absolutely. If it carries on like this, it's going to end in tears. That's my opinion. So late on the brakes, but he got it stopped. So fair play to him. Certainly has the Alfa Romeo drivers in front, second guessing what he's going to do next as they go round the final corner up towards the start-finish line, and Barry is right there in the toll behind Alfie. Is he going to go for it this time down towards turn 1? I don't even know why I'm asking the question. Of course he is, but Alfie, he fancies a move. And there he goes again! Very late from Barry. Stamped well and truly licked and sent. Is he through? No, he's not. And still, Alfie holds on as they go side by side, touching wheels through turn 3. On the run up to turn 4. Has Speed Barry got the line? Got the place? Got a World Championship point? Yes, he has. But still, Alfie won't give it up. Side by side they will go down the sweeping corners, and he's back through again. There's Alfie ahead of Barry, and Lambo's again in there sniffing for a corner too. And Barry, that was crazy late, that was stupidly late, and he clips into the side of Alfie, who I think might have sustained damage there as Lambo now gets himself involved. That was a bit of a punt there more than anything from Speed Barry. How did you read it, James?
It looked more like frustration on his left foot there rather than anything else. It just didn't pay off for him, I'm afraid, and well, he may be falling at stewards. Well, under the fall of the stewards later on this evening, we will soon see. But Lambo has made up a position in this Grand Prix. He's actually made up a position, I dare say. He has lost more than he's probably gained in this Grand Prix, definitely so. So, yeah, good for him. And now he's got Deros on the back of Barry. I'm not too sure if he's going to be beating him under brakes, though.
Well, I don't think Andy can beat Barry in the brakes. I'm not too sure about some of the moves he's been going for.
He's back on the attack of Rafa into turn 1. Looks like the Toro Rosso's got ahead of him again, and he has got ahead as it's me against Rafa here. But Rafa's going to have a good drive up the hill towards turn 4. Look at that, just switching across the road as it's me. And can Rafa get it stopped under the braking ahead of it's me? Doesn't look like it on this occasion. And the Williams sits in behind the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, look at that. It's me is actually having a fantastic race. He really is. It's been a superb race so far. But the more these guys battle, the more that suits Blizzard. They should be reeling him in now on fresher medium tyres, but by battling each other, it's all going to play into VSR Blizzard hands at the end of the race when he's on the faster, fresher, softer compound. So not ideal that they're battling one another at the moment, as It's Me gets himself back ahead. And I've got to say, out of that group, other than Blizzard, I would say It's Me has been the fastest of the group, hasn't he? Rafa's been quite quick too, but It's Me with that move certainly looks like he's stamped his authority on that group behind Blizzard, isn't he?
Absolutely, he just looks like he's finally got used to these medium tyres now, starting to get a bit more heat, a bit more grip in those tyres. And Blizzard pits from the lead on lap 16 of this Bahrain Grand Prix on the mediums. He'll go on to the softs and he'll finish the race on that compound as well. But just how quick and how far ahead will he be, if he's ahead at all, of these guys of It's Me and Rafa behind him?
I'd be surprised if he is, but here he is coming down the pit lane now, Blizzard, on those brand spanking new sets of soft compound tyres. Is he ahead, by the way? I think he might be. It's going to be close. Here comes It's Me and Rafa down towards turn one. This is going to be close. This is key for the race. But Blizzard is ahead. He keeps himself in the lead, or the net lead of the race. Can It's Me or Rafa do anything about it as they run up the hill? Because Blizzard needs to get the temperature in these tyres. It's Me tries round the outside. Is he going to be able to hang it right round the outside of the world champion? He's going to try. Oh, they're touching wheels as they run down the hill. It's Me can't quite do it, and Blizzard fends him off, and surely now is going to be on course to take the victory. But that nearly ended in tears there, James, didn't it?
Absolutely. The left rear wheel was actually getting further ahead of his car at some moment there. They nearly spun each other out, which would have been very, very controversial to say the least. But Darragh back on It's Me then, and can he get a good enough drive towards turn 11? He's just got to keep in tabs with the Mercedes ahead of him. Yeah,
absolutely. Blizzard now looking to be in a very strong position. Obviously, he'll need to try and build a gap quickly, because at the end of the race, those tyres might not be at their very best, the softs. Obviously, the mediums won't be either, but you would certainly feel the softs at the end wouldn't be as quick as warm mediums. But we'll keep an eye on it. If It's Me can keep himself within the DRS zone, he's going to have an opportunity later on in the race. But there is a tall order. What about round the final corner and across the line? Does he fancy his chances of retaking what would be the net lead when Hamilton finally decides to come into the pits? These are your leaders across the line. Blizzard, It's Me, Rafa, 1, 2 and 3 with Wayne in the background. Is It's Me going to go for it into turn one? No, he's not. He keeps things reserved, keeps things in his pocket for now, and it stays behind Blizzard. And from here on in, you would fancy, as Rafa picks up a 3-second time penalty, Blizzard to get things under control and try and race away. And Lambo's picking up quite a few penalties, and he's now retired from the race. As a result, it's not been a good afternoon for Lambo whatsoever. He's been going backwards all afternoon, and a handful of penalties, and now a DNF, James.
Yeah, absolutely. He struggled this Grand Prix. Although he's been in the forefront of many battles this evening, he hasn't quite been able to match the speed of the guys around him at some points in this Grand Prix. Some points he has. He also did get forced off by speed Barry. We totally missed it because of the guys at the front, which is every right to do so. Not so much in the case of Barry forcing the issue, though. He did absolutely just take a massive lunge.
Yeah, Barry, perhaps a little bit too eager to make some moves. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going for a move up the inside, but, you know, it was almost verging on the point of saying, if I don't stop this car, I'm using you as a brake. I don't know what you think, James, but that's certainly how I was reading some of the moves he was going for. Just need to calm down a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, you can only brake so much in this on this circuit before you end up in Qatar. So I'd suggest that, maybe needs to improve that for next time out. But I'm sure he'll come back stronger. Barry on pole means everything. I mean, that's a great omen for him, really. So we look forward to seeing what he can do in Spain.
Absolutely. He certainly needs to get a grip in the championship, though, pretty soon before it runs away from him, because at the moment, Blizzard looking very strong for a second win in 3 races in this 11-race season, and is beginning to disappear from his opposition in this race, and potentially from his opposition in the championship as well, because Abiadon, he is not having a good afternoon. He is down in 7th. Janol is 5th at the moment, and it's actually painting a similar pattern for Blizzard to last season, where his main rivals, weren't right behind him in the race when they were in the championship. They just kept falling by the wayside. Is that what's going to happen again here today. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll get 10 laps to go. Blizzard in control from It's Me, Rafa and Wayne. But let's keep an eye on Leon. 8 tenths behind Jano, and pretty soon going to be close enough, James, to maybe have a look and go up the inside.
Absolutely, just needs to get a good run really out this final sector. It's so different. It's weird what you decide to do on this circuit because it's very high speed nature. But do you put that bit more front wing on just so you're able to really nail the middle sector, where we have seen cars gain a fair bit of time through that middle sector, and then hope the DRS can drag you along to finally get the overtake sorted. It's just that difference. What do you decide to do? Do you go for the much lower downforce, or do you decide to put that little bit more front wing on? I think most of these guys have gone with a low downforce setup for this weekend in particular, so we'll see what Leon can do. He's 8 tenths behind. He won't be close enough on this occasion to get a move to turn 1. As I said, it's around half a second. That's the kind of gap you're looking at if you really want to get a move done towards the first corner.
Absolutely, not quite close enough on this occasion, as you say, but he's getting within range. Lewis as well, who former champion. I expected a little bit more pace from him today. He'll be charging through the field. 4 tenths behind Abiadon at the moment, so potentially a move for Lewis as well on those soft tyres. So I wonder how much further up through the field he can get before the end of the race. He'll certainly fancy his chances at a top 5 at the very least, but he'll need to get a move on and get himself ahead of that Sauber very, very quickly, because it's a 2.7 gap beyond that to get to Leon and Jeannot, who are battling each other quite fiercely as well. But yeah, behind this, Alfie 9th, Speed Barry at the final, the final point in 10th at the moment. Hamilton 11th on fresh super soft, so he's going for a really bold decision as we watch Lewis sweep round the outside and easily pass Abiadon on those fresh softs. That was like candy from a baby, James, wasn't it?
Yeah, he didn't even put up a fight, did the Alfa Romeo driver there. Just sort of sat in behind and thought, well, he's going to have the pace advantage, he's going to have the grip advantage on those soft tyres. That's wise racing from the Alfa driver, just doing everything he needs to do in his particular race. He doesn't need to spoil everybody else's. I'm not saying he would have done, but you know, sometimes it's just a barrier in the way of a much quicker car. And in this occasion, on fresher softs, Lewis was obviously going to be the faster driver. Yeah,
well, Barry now looks like he was about to have a look at Alfie, but all of a sudden VJ Hamilton on those super softs had just gone flying past him. So we're going to see some more Barry action in a moment. Here we go, down towards turn 1. Hamilton on the attack of Alfie, Barry on the attack of Hamilton. No way through as they all close up, as they fight over the minor placings on the fringes of the World Championship points. So quite a scrap developing between these three as they all streak their way up towards turn 4. Surely Hamilton on the super softs would be the favourite, but you just never know when Barry's involved. He certainly looks racy, and he could be getting involved too. But lovely stuff from Hamilton, easily passing Barry, and pretty soon you would fancy him to get ahead of Alfie. Is he going to chuck one up the inside? Nope, not into this corner, but he's not too far away from making his way through. And when he does get through, it's all about whether he can build that cushion he needs before the super softs go off, James.
Absolutely, and what you've got to consider as a racing driver, the best feeling I think as a racing driver is not only when you win, it's when you come out of the pits on a fresh set of the super soft tyres. And here goes our Hamilton up the inside then into turn 11. Easy pickings for the Haas driver and gets ahead of Alfie on this occasion. But it's just such a great feeling when you know you've got more grip than your rivals around you, and I'm sure that's what Hamilton's feeling right now. The pace advantage is with the Haas. Expect him to perhaps even get a faster sap of the race.
Yep, an absolute doddle for Hamilton as he cruised through. So up now into that 9th position as Alfie now in behind that. Tries to stick within the DRS. It could help in his defence of that final point.
Leon. He's up the inside of the Force India. Can't quite get the move done into the first corner, but it was alongside him into turn 1. Couldn't get it done. Watch him up towards turn 4.
Yep, here we go. Let's keep an eye on that. Leon against Jano. Is he going to find a way through? No, not on this occasion, but he's very close. He's been sizing him up for a number of laps. And he'll know with Lewis not too far back that he wants to get through quickly, because Lewis on the softs is on a charge. So it would always be nice to put an extra car between yourself and one of the fastest men on the racetrack at the moment. So can he do it? Not on this occasion. Sweeping down the hill. I might have to wait for one more lap as Lewis almost gets himself within 1 second now. So he really is starting to reel them in. Lewis in 7th and Leon in 6th, just ticking under that 1 second margin now, Lewis. So Leon, if he wants to get through on Janel, needs to do it pretty soon. Speed Barry, Alfie no longer within DRS attention, or zone of Hamilton, so he's going to be under threat here this time round. That final World Championship point. Barry trying the switch back, getting a good run out of turn 11. Through 12 and 13 they go. And getting a bit of the dirt here now, Barry, running a little bit wide. And Alfie, for now, will hold on. But he certainly looks like he's ready to make a move, Barry. And is he going to try it into the final corner? Surely the smart man would wait until the start line, but he's got so much more speed, he might try it. Nope. He ain't for trying it yet. So round the final corner he will go as Leon again. Close to Jano into turn 1. Not close enough, so we'll go back to Barry, who is lining up Alfie as across the line. This for the final World Championship point. And is he going to get through? Look at the squeeze being given there from Hamilton. Sorry, from Alfie. And is he through, Barry? Look at them bumping again. And Alfie holds on. Very close battle between those two, but Alfie holds on against Barry as we shuffle up to Lewis. Look at this. Moving ahead of Leon and up into 6th place. And Leon has been trying to get ahead of Janul before Lewis got to him. He's failed in the task. And Lewis, easy pickings, through he goes. Next up Janul, and that should be pretty easy as well, as Rafa now gets within 3/10 of It's Me. So suddenly a second win from Rafa. And It's Me maybe not the best of the rest behind Blizzard this afternoon, James.
Yeah, perhaps he made a mistake somewhere along the line. He's now 5.5 seconds behind Blizzard, who's bolstered up the front of the field. But think about this, if Leon uses Lewis here, he could use him quite well in terms of how Lewis may just halt the Force India ahead of him. So if he's wise about this, he may be able to pick up a piece here from the Force India ahead. Let's see though. Oh, actually Lewis backs out of going for a move into the final corner. What about Rafa and It's Me ahead of them?
Well, here we go. Rafa coming across the line towards lap 24 out of 29. He's gaining and gaining rapidly. Look at this. Up the inside he goes. Huge DRS assistance there. And he breezes through up into 2nd place. But look at that. It's Me. Incredible drive. Going through turns 2 and 3. And he sticks himself back up into 2nd place. It looked for all the while there that Rafa had it done. But no. It's Me, a warrior that he is, fights back and reclaims 2nd place. Great action between the pair.
Yeah, fantastic stuff from It's Me. They just managed to get that the switch back there and just pulled it off absolutely to perfection. And actually, I think what I said has come into fruition here. Lewis has sort of allowed Leon to get that little bit closer to the Force India behind. When you think about a move into the hairpin, no, not quite on this occasion.
Very close though. The two of them have been so evenly matched over the course of this race. Speed Barry unseen by us now is ahead of Alfie into that final World Championship point. Can he stay there? Alfie only half a second back, but this is the battle to watch for now. The one between It's Me and Rafa, and this one here. The ILRT boys, Lewis, Jano and Leon. And at the moment, Lewis, you would think, should be able to streak clear on those soft compound tyres. It's all about Jano against Leon for 6th place. But at the moment, Jano holding on, isn't he?
Yeah, it certainly is. He is doing a fine job in the Force India, the racing point as it were, just to hold off. But there's the Alfa Romeo that's trying to join the fray, as you say, coming into this Grand Prix a little bit more now, and also Hamilton behind on those super softs. We'll start to be feeling the reason why you don't put super softs on after you've had a set of mediums, because they wear off, well, just immensely quickly. They're just useless tyres really around this circuit. Couldn't come up with an analogy to describe them, but they're only good for 1 lap pace around here, and that is it. So he will maybe have to make another pit stop towards the end of this one.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if he can make the end. Could you do me a little favour, James? We've got a request in the comments that do we check Wayne's penalties? Can we have a little look at those and tell me how many penalties he's got?
I was prepped and ready for this, and Wayne doesn't have any penalties. Rafa has 2. On the other hand, he also has 2 warnings to his name, so another warning, and Rafa's real hopes for podium, if they hadn't gone out the window, they've been absolutely thrown out the window this time, because he's on a few number of penalties, and Wayne at the moment will be staring down the barrel of a rostrum, and Barry's at the Grand Prix. Oh
dear, what's happened there? Has he crashed? I'm not too sure. Or has he just retired? He's on for a World Championship point, but he is now out of the race. So it's a shame to see him out. Alfie, by the way, if it means anything at all, he's got wing damage. So have they two came together somewhere on the racetrack? I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at Alfie's front wing in a minute. There you go. They want a big chunk out of that front wing. In fact, is he going to try and battle onto the finish without changing it, because he's got a 21-second advantage over Liam. So you know, he should probably battle on and finish in the points. But I think there might have been a collision there. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, they may well have been. We will soon see, of course. Let's see if they can get a move done into the first corner. Not quite on this occasion, but yeah, as you say, he has got big wing damage on the left front. Perhaps contact was made.
Perhaps some contact there as Leon now drops behind Abiadon, who moves up into that 7th place. So 1 minute, Leon on a charge, chasing down Jano. Next minute, the pace has gone off the edge of the cliff and he's dropped down into 8th position. So, you know, Abiadon showing some late pace, perhaps taking too much out of the tyres earlier on, Leon, following that forced Indy. I'm not too sure what's happened to him, but he's dropped back now into 8th position. Abiadon through up into 7th as Rafa continues to battle with It's Me for the best of the rest. And Wayne is also still there, only 9/10 off the back. And can he get himself involved, James? He's still got a chance of a podium.
Yeah, he's got a chance of a podium because of the penalties, of course, but he's also got a chance of getting a second place finish here, which is probably what he's most looking at, because he surely, with a great respect, he's in the wall, isn't it? The Williams Rafa's binned it out of the penultimate corner there, and that's not a place you want to be bringing in the car. And the Williams is out of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Well, that's the podium showing up now, and he had a penalty, Rafa, didn't he? So, well, that's a brilliant thing for Wayne. A disaster for Rafa. Let up the rear tyres, lost the back end. Similar to what Francis did earlier on, he wasn't quite so lucky, and the suspension broke. The tyre was flailing in the air, and out of the race goes Rafa, and that promotes Lickle into an unlikely points-paying position, despite being 46 seconds behind Alfie. Incredible. So Lickle should get a point from that. As a result, it just goes to show, always battle on to the death, James, isn't that right?
Absolutely. You can never say never in league racing, as we all know. It just becomes about as unpredictable as, well, the weather in the United Kingdom, quite frankly. There's nothing you can predict about that. So that is seriously the nature of how it goes, and you may find a shock put in now and again. You also find a few shock podium finishes now and again. That is part of the puzzle of league racing. Lewis, by the way, from 18th on the grid, 4th at the moment. What a tremendous drive from McLaren.
Yep, really strong drive from Lewis. Let us know, folks, in the comment section. We're always interested to hear your driver of the day. Now, I will give you the option to see the position change, and there it is. Lewis up 14 places, the biggest gainer. Blizzard up 9. Do you give it to Blizzard? Do you give it to Lewis? There's similar ideas on strategy. Abiadon, he's up 6, Lickle up 10, but of course most of that is down to the number of retirements. So, yeah, interesting to see. But who's your driver of the day as things stand, James? For me, I'm going to go for Blizzard.
Yeah, it's a shame, because I was going to turn around and say, oh yeah, I'll pick someone else. No, it was always, for me, going to be Blizzard, I'm afraid. It was just a tremendous drive. From 10th on the grid, it was on medium tyres. You really thought the early stages of this Grand Prix might have been swamped by even the people behind him, dare I say. But actually, just proving his World Championship credibility with, well, it's almost a certain victory here in Bahrain, but just the way he was managing to close the guys down at the front on those medium tyres was just something I've never ever seen before. It's truly phenomenal from the Mercedes driver today, and it's the only reason he gets my driver today.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, like there's other drivers out there that have got great pace, similar to Blizzard, but Blizzard is so consistent as well. He's always there or thereabouts at the front of the order. You know, comes from 10th today, and as you say, could have been going backwards right in the middle of the pack of a 20 car field. Could very easily have been involved in an incident, but no. Blizzard's not the one in the incident. It's the man who started on pole, Barry. We know he's got great pace, and Blizzard just finds his way through, calm and methodical, picks his moments, and is up into the lead, and now has a massive cushion, and no doubt about it for me, driver of the day. There's one battle still on the racetrack, still to be decided, and it's going to go the distance. It's Janot against Abiadon, and the strong finishing Abiadon, who's been really, really quick in the second phase of this race. And he's got a lap fresher tyres than Janot as well, so he should have an opportunity as they cross the line to start this lap to try and make this move. As here we go, on to the final lap. Is he going to try up the inside? Defending the middle of the road is Janot. Oh, big switchback! Huge switchback from Abiadon. That is absolutely magnificent, but he can't do it, can he? Side by side they will go up the hill on this final lap. Oh, that was out of this world. And has he done it? Oh, it's incredible. And now coming back is Janel up the inside. Brilliant racing between the pair. Aggressive stuff. And he's back through. Chasing each other down the hill they go. Rubbing wheels, trading paint. And ahead just about is Abiadon. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. And that move at turn one was something to behold. It was special. It was brilliant. It was crazy, James. I loved it.
I'll tell you what, that was Formula One's equivalent of a 30-yard screamer in the last minute. That is just how good that is from Abidin. Stunning overtake from the Alfa Romeo, who did not give it in at all. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. But we've got to go to Blizzard, who's going to come round to win this Grand Prix.
Yep, here he comes. VSR Blizzard will go to Janelle and Abiadon with the fireworks in a moment. But there's going to be fireworks lighting up the sky tonight as VSR Blizzard on the racetrack was untouchable from 10th on the grid. It's his second win in 3 races. He takes the championship lead and the world champion flexes his muscles here in Bahrain, and there's no sign of stopping the Blizzard steam train to another title. He wins from It's Me with a great drive to second. Wayne in third, and look at this to the lane! Oh! No! Janel forced to the pit wall and out of the race on the run to the line. That looked very naughty indeed, and he gets nothing as a result. Wow.
I'll be honest, I sincerely hope he gets reinstated some of that, because he was, well, a grid slot away from finishing, and he got planted into the wall. I've never seen anything like that. I shouldn't laugh, that is rather peculiar, it has to be said. Alfie will finish technically 8th, and if we'll manage to finish technically 9th, and then that means we'll technically finish 10th. It's all gone wrong for Arno in the end, and 12 finishes to this Grand Prix with Sterling West getting the fastest lap of the lot.
Well, if I was Janot, I mean, it was a heavy hit with the wall. I mean, if that was real life, he'd probably have sustained injury. He'd maybe have had to limp over the line, jump out the car, and literally walk over the line. That might have been his only option of getting any points there, but I think you need to get the car and yourself to the finish. So I don't think that car would have been moving very quickly. See, to be honest, some of the car probably was over the line after that. Maybe not all of it, but a great win in the end for Blizzard, and a fantastic job. 2 wins now out of 3 races, and it really is hard to see past him being champion again, James, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. With drives like that, that is championship winning potential pedigree. You don't win races in those sort of circumstances. Having to start on the mediums, the hardest compound tyre that they had this weekend, and winning like that, it's brilliant drive from Blizzard. Yep, absolutely brilliant. If you're watching, feel free to pay your respects to that crash there at the end for Janot. F is the for to pay respects, so that's a shame for him getting absolutely nothing from that. But there it is then, the Bahrain Grand Prix, the fireworks going off in the background. It's VSR Blizzard, the race winner. Ahead of It's Me in second. This is Wayne, comes home in third after that big mistake from Rafa. Of course, Wayne never had any penalties, he would have got it anyway. Lewis, good recovery to 4th place from 18th. Abidon, he was 5th in the end. A big charge at the end. What a move it was on Leon in the closing stages of the race. Hamilton, he was 7th. Alfie in 8th. Lickle got 2 points in 9th, and Liam, unlikely, didn't expect that, did he, on the final lap, comes home in 10th after that disaster for Janot, who is out of the race. What a shame for him. What a race that was, and got a feel for Janot. I mean, they had a great battle on that final lap before it all went sour. But I'm going to try and invite the top 3 in for a chat, starting with VSR Blizzard. A couple of moments, folks, to sort this out. But yeah, James, what did you make of your first race commentating on the PS4 side here at ILR? Me for saying that, but there are a lot of similarities between the two. Watch, and hopefully we can get some.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. It was good to have you. I've got it actually. I've not actually got It's Me as a friend, believe it or not. I'm surprised by that. I thought I would have had him as a friend. I'll send one over there now, and I'll try and get him as Blizzard joins us. So it's good to have Blizzard in here. Then I'll try and get Wayne as well. Give us a couple of moments, folks. and we should be ready to go. I've got to send Wayne a friend's request as well, so this could take some time. But anyway, let's speak to the race winner. I speak to him very, very often in ILR1 on the PS4. We almost speak to him all the time because he's won yet again. Face Up Blizzard, 10th on the grid today. First of all, let's talk about qualifying. It looked like you'd set a quick lap but invalidated it. Is that why you were forced to start from 10th on the mediums?
I think it's the second to last corner. The first time in the entire day, in one of my soft quali runs, that I ran wide of that corner. So yeah, validated it.
Well, the dogs are loving it as well. Dogs are loving it. Yeah, they're pretty excited about the result in the end. So they're delighted with that. But yeah, what about the race then? Talk about the race for us. It was a cracking race, wasn't it? And you just bided your time, waited for your moment, and you ended up cruising on to victory. There's some great moves in there as well.
How would you say again?
Is it the dogs? Sorry. Tell the dogs to be quiet, for goodness sake. Yeah. So, sorry, what was I saying? Yes. What did you make of the race then? It was a good drive from you, professional, bided your time, waited for your moments, and made the moves, and ended up with a comfortable win in the end. Talk us through the race.
Well, it was a pretty bad start, obviously, because I was on the mediums and Abby almost jumped me. And it was a little incident with Yanel. I think he hit Lambo and bounced into Liam and then back into Lambo. But that didn't really cause too much, and then I saw Barry off the side as well. So that was just the first lap. I gained one position off the start, because I think I lost out position to Abby as well, even if I gained 2 positions. Others. And then my teammate crashed Francis, and I don't know what happened to him. I think he just bounced off the outside wall the last turn. Yeah,
I think he just lost the rear end, let it up, and round he went, and actually very nearly collected you in the end.
And then it was just about trying to pass all of the people who started on soft tyres, as their tyres slowly fell off at the end of their stints. I managed to get into the net lead before everyone pitted, even if I was on mediums, and then it was just about trying to pull off the overcut, which I managed to do. Yeah, just about.
Yeah, it was great pace again from you, and who do you think over the course of the season is your main rivals in terms of speed? I mean, there's been a number of new people joining the series, but you just seem to have an answer for absolutely everyone at the moment. People like Barry on pole today should be one of the quicker guys, I suppose, but he just kept making mistakes today, and only a 7th place so far this season for him. And given it's a short season, things looking really strong for you. Who do you look at, Blizzard, as what your main rivals?
Definitely Rafa, because I know he has quite good pace when he has ABS on, and it looked like he had good pace today even if he had ABS off. So I think it'll be the closest at this moment in time.
Okay. Well, looking forward to the rest of the season. Is it Spain next, I believe? I think it's Spain. How are you looking forward to that one? Do you think you've got some good pace there to go on and try and get another victory?
I dislike Spain, but I won last season based off my consistency, so I think that'll be my advantage in that race.
Okay, well, congratulations. I'm going to try and get the rest of the guys in. I don't know if they've accepted my friend's request. I think it's me has, so I will now try and get him into the party for a chat with the man who finished second. A really strong drive from It's Me. I said it in the stream. He really has coming on to a game in F1. He started in ILR2, won the ILR2 championship a couple of seasons ago, and then progressed into ILR1, and slowly but surely moving his way up through the pecking order to become one of the fastest drivers in this tier. And put in one of his best performances I can remember in ILR with that fantastic drive today. So hopefully we can speak to him. There he is. Good. That's us sorted. We can speak to him now. It's me. Well, you must be delighted with that. A really good drive today, and arguably one of your best ever in the ILR1, would you say?
I'm not going to lie, I'm disappointed.
Okay.
I feel like VSL Blizzard was for the taking. Like, things could have gone better, I think, in the first stint, but you got to take what you get,
Okay. What made you? Why do you think he was there for the taking? Was there just moments in the race where you lost a little bit of time, and if you'd maybe managed to get yourself ahead of him when he came out the pitch, you maybe would have held on? Is that what you're thinking?
Not so much. I just feel like I lost too much time in that first stint. I mean, he got through the pack so quickly on the mediums. It was a bit of a surprise, to be honest.
Okay, you're a little bit disappointed with that, but what are the positives to take out of it then? A strong result, second place.
Yeah,
Surely a lot of positives to take.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, good.
Very Kimmy, isn't he?
What about your battles in the race? You Rafa, you had a good fight with Rafa for much of the race, and a few of the other guys in there as well. All scrapping. Wayne as well was in touch. That was a fantastic fight. It certainly seemed like you and Rafa were pretty even on pace.
Yeah, the fight with Rafa was a bit. It wasn't really needed. I saw he had like quite a few pens, so I was just trying to make sure I didn't crash, basically, just keep it on track. But track positions, you always want track position, So
Would you say that was the main area you were losing time? That particular scrap with him, is that where all the time was being lost? You feel?
yeah, but at that point, I feel like Blizzard was gone.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe in the first stint, if we didn't lose enough, if we didn't lose that much time to Blizzard, he was basically a second behind us after that first stint on the medium. So, and then he obviously had the soft, so we couldn't really do too much about that.
Well, what do you think? How do you feel about yourself in general, about your pace? Because I was there when you were racing in ILR2, and you had that great season when won the championship, and now into ILR1, and you're just getting faster and faster and getting yourself closer and closer to the front of the action. So, what's the secret? How come you're getting so much quicker? I mean, what can you expect from this season? Are you hoping to try and get a win on the board at some point?
Maybe if Blizzard crashes out. I feel like the main reason that I'm competitive is probably because ABS was switched off, this season. I feel like there's a few drivers who are maybe struggling with it a bit more, especially in the race. You can probably put a decent lap in quali, but when it comes to the race, you're going to be locking up and then getting caught up in battles as well with locking up.
Okay, well, congratulations on that second place. James, have you got any questions for either of these drivers? I don't think we're going to get Wayne.
No, I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Andy. Yeah, just a brilliant drive once again, as I say, from Blizzard in the lead, and managing to win on those medium tires from where he was. Just a tremendous performance, and again, many congratulations to being on his well-deserved second place.
Yeah, well, that rounds it all off then. The Bahrain Grand Prix, it's Blizzard who takes top spot. 2 wins from 3 races. Can anyone stop him in this 11-race season? At the moment, it doesn't look likely. Blizzard wins in Bahrain. That's all from us. We'll see you next time at the same time, 5:30 next week. Goodbye.